Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the summary of Mother's Day, a very important and very famous lesson. This is in class 11. So Mother's Day is a play by J.B. Priestley. Here we see the satirical depiction, description of the women status. Generally, in a male-dominated society, a housewife is considered to be a slave of her husband or servant of the family. Husbands and family members never appreciate or praise her service. They generally turns their eyes from her hardship, and by this play, J.B. Priestley wanted to air her voice this issue, which is prominent and most relevant even today in Indian subcontinent. So when I'll say Indian subcontinent, that means India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. In Asia, okay, mothers want care, love, respect, and help from our fathers, our husbands, or the children. Okay, so a mother, in the form of mother, want to care, love from her husband and her children. Now I am going to tell you the story of this play. That is a quick summary. Okay. On a daily basis, Mrs. Pearson's kids disrespect and disregard her badly. In her home, she was like a maid servant. So Mrs. Pearson felt too much terrible or felt embarrassment too much, not only from her daughter Doris and son Cyril, but also from her husband George Pearson. Mrs. Pearson's life takes U-turn when a new neighbor comes and becomes her friend. She was Mrs. Fitzgerald. Mrs. Fitzgerald was a future teller, a fortune teller, a forecaster, an astrologer, or a person who sees future and describes. She tells her that she can solve her problem within hours. Having a very strong and sinister personality, she asks Mrs. Pearson to change the personality, to swap the personality. She chants a mantra, and both became senseless for a while and changed each other's personality. Now they are having switched behavior, switched attitude, switched personality. Afterwards, Mrs. Pearson is in her home and her daughter Doris enters. So here Mrs. Pearson is not in reality. Mrs. Pearson bodily she is Mrs. Pearson, but the soul, but the personality is of Mrs. Fitzgerald. So you will find the behavior of Mrs. Fitzgerald here. So Doris asks her mother to iron her yellow dress for her date to Charlie Spence. So Charlie Spence is Doris' boyfriend, her boyfriend. Okay, she was shocked to her tone, by her tone and smoking, and started crying after getting insults and chiding from her mother, Mrs. Pearson. After a while, her son Cyril comes home and demands a cup of tea. He doesn't get any reply in the beginning, and after some time, Mrs. Pearson asks him to help himself. So she asks, "Go and prepare yourself and enjoy it." Cyril calls Mrs. Fitzgerald an old hag, while there was argument between a mother and a son, on which Mrs. Pearson warns him to mind his language as well as his business. When Cyril talks about or talks about the Fitzgerald, Mrs. Fitzgerald, and he calls Miss Fitzgerald an old hag, H-A-G. At the same time, George enters and becomes shocked to see her wife drinking and smoking very badly. Okay, the manner, the attitude is totally different. Mrs. Pearson gives a logic regarding drinking. So Mrs. Pearson is going to talk to George that, oh George, if you can drink, I can also drink. So she says to George that if he can drink, why she can't? Apart from this, she makes fun of him. Okay, because of not giving time to her, George can spend time with his friend outside of home but cannot sit with her for a while. So he was irresponsible husband. Okay. So here we see Mrs. Pearson on all this doesn't feel well. So she is totally hurt, got hurt by this behavior. What the behavior she was showing towards her family, she was not feeling well. She asks Mr. Fitzgerald to stop all this. Now, Miss Fitzgerald teaches them good lesson about their duties: husband's duty, daughter's duty, and Cyril's duty. Mrs. Pearson will never work for 24 into 7. So this was the lesson which Mrs. Fitzgerald is going to teach them, that yes, she is not your slave, she is not your servant. Okay, she is the lady who works from since the morning to night 24 into 7. In the end, we see switching of personality, and this play is a comedy because in the end we find that all the characters are happy. So according to J.B. Priestley, we all should respect, care, and never ignore our mother or our wife or our sister. Okay, so we should not impose many duties on the same person. Okay, so that's why J.B. Priestley says that we all should respect, care, and never ignore our mother, as she is the most valuable personality in a family. Every day is Mother's Day for a caring child. So this is the quick summary of the drama. I request you all people, reading summary is not enough. If you are having time, so in your spare time you can enjoy the drama, because reading original text is very important. If I'll talk about the examination points of view, that in an examination might be there are many questions coming from inside the drama, many dialogues will be there, so it is better to read the original text. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed this summary. And please like and share with your friends, and if you are new on this channel, so please subscribe my channel, and please help me in making my channel famous. Okay, so thank you very much.